Hello.
Welcome to the Geeky Girls Knit Podcast. I'm Cece, also known as Java Pearl.
I'm Dammy, known as Dammy's Doodles, and I'm actually knitting today during the podcast.
What?
Because I'm doing a heel, because heels are easy. Okay, that's who I am.
Okay. Today is Wednesday, the 7th of February, 2018, and this is episode 280. Ooh, fancy. We'd like to say a big welcome back. We love you guys. To all our returning viewers, and a big hiya to any new viewers. Thanks for giving us a shot. We hope you enjoy the show. Dammy, no one introduced themselves in the Ravelry group this week.
Oh, no.
Why should they, what should they do and why?
If you are not a member of our Ravelry group, you should join and introduce yourself in our introductions thread.
If they're already a member but they have not introduced themselves, they could also do that.
I was gonna say that when I finished my sentence.
Oh, go ahead. Finish your sentence.
Now I don't remember where I was.
Start over.
If you're not a member of our Ravelry group, you should join and introduce yourself in our introductions thread, because you will get a shout out on our next episode, and you'll be able to participate in all our owls and giveaways, but also what she said.
Yes, yes. So, yeah. Well, we have some FOs, some new yarn, some funny llamas.
We don't need alpacas.
Alpacas.
We don't need any new yarn.
I know.
And yet,
I got 2 new skeins of yarn.
I have plenty of new yarn I need to use.
For shame, but you know, it was calling my name. What is a pink hair girl to do? But buy the yarn. All right. Well, we probably should get started. Here we go.
And now we're going to talk about what is on our needles.
What's on your needles, Jamie?
I'm actually knitting on the podcast for the first time in a while because I'm doing a sock. This is one of my 3 remaining samples I need to finish for our upcoming Tickled Pink book. I'm working on the Bashfully Tickled Pink socks right now, but I can't show you them because they're a sample. But they're on US 1.5, 2.5 millimeters, and the yarn is Suburban Stitcher sock, and I'm on the heel right now, and it feels so nice to work on a sock heel.
Yay.
Because it's nice and easy.
So we should tell them that you and I had a business meeting, which means we went to Starbucks and had coffee and had our planners and chatted, because that's what you do. So the book is going to release at the end of April. Pre-orders for it will start at the beginning of March, and we have a couple of exclusive goodies.
And they're so cute.
And they're so cute. To go with the pre-orders. I mean, you'll be able to pre-order just the book, but you could also pre-order the book with the goodies.
They're so cute.
Should I tell them who created the goodies?
Not yet. Not yet.
Okay. But you're going to want them. Because they're fabulous.
I want them.
So, and just like our other books, the physical books will come with a coupon code to download the books on Ravelry, the ebooks on Ravelry. And the patterns will also be available individually, but not until after the book releases. And
yeah,
I think that's everything for the moment for that. But you're working on something else too. I mean, like, you're not working on it this very second, but you are.
One of my other samples for the book, the Tickled Pink wrap, on US 3s, 3.25 millimeters. The yarn is Seven Sisters Arts. The pattern is all okay now. I just need to finish knitting it, but I'm almost halfway through the first skein.
Okay.
Which is good.
That is good.
I'm guessing. I'm like eyeing it. Yeah. But then I have not worked on the cowl because the cowl mocks me.
You should have a treat system. Like, you finished, how many rows are in the repeat?
36.
So every 6 rows you complete, you get a square of dark chocolate.
Yeah, I need to finish that bar of dark chocolate I got before Lent. I ate 8 whole pieces of it yesterday.
Oh my goodness.
After eating that donut. It was not a good idea.
Sometimes.
But I have over half of the bar left, so.
Sweets are a necessity. Just like coffee. Okay, are you working on anything else?
No. So what are you working on?
So I'm working on my 10-stitch zigzag blanket, which I actually have in my hands today because the question for Ask the Geeky Girls is about the blanket. So I'm just going to show you.
Wow.
So I'm working on the very last zigzag of this stripe. This is the 10-stitch zigzag pattern by 10 stitch zigzag pattern by Frankie Brown. It's free on Ravelry. I'm using US 4 3.5 mil needles, and this yarn is Ginger's hand dyed.
Yeah, I think I can't remember. It's probably Sheepish Sock in the Royal Botanics colorway.
All the colors are on my project page. And then the next thing that I'm going to add is the String Theory
Colorworks
entanglement in the Oxytocin colorway, because, spoiler, I finished the socks. So I thought this would be a fun blend next, because it'll be really cool stripes. So I'm working on that. So I'm going to finish this stripe today, and I'll go ahead and start the next stripe today as well. I am working on my third pair of these fingerless mitts, the shorty fingerless mitts pattern that I incorporated some stuff from the leftover sock yarn mitts pattern by Jean Stevenson, which is a free pattern on Ravelry. I'm on US 3s, 3.25 mil needles, and these ones I'm doing as stripes. So this is Knit Picks palette in the white and the Bittersweet Heather colorway. So the first one is done, and the second one I am ready to do the thumb.
Yeah, didn't you have to rip it back?
Yeah, because I was knitting while we were watching TV, and I accidentally knit a whole nother, because they go this way, a whole nother, no, they go this way, a whole nother white stripe, and so I had to rip out the white stripe so I can do the thumb gusset. But you will see more of these in the coming weeks, because I'm making pairs for several friends. So, yeah, but there's that. And again, if anybody wants the pattern that I'm using, just let me know, and I'll put it like in my the project page on Ravelry. Yeah, so that I'm working on that. And then the other thing I'm working on that I can't show you is the beach cowl, which is on US 2.5 3 mil needles, and it's Pandia's Jewel Snug in the Brackets Landing colorway. And this cowl and the sock pattern will be exclusive to a club for, I can't remember how long, 6 months maybe? And then it'll be available to purchase on Ravelry. But this doesn't release until, I believe, May to the club. So,
it's pretty.
It is pretty. I love the yarn.
And the pattern is pretty, too.
Thank you. I may have to talk to Julia and be like, can a skein of that, like, fall off the truck for me so I can knit socks for myself out of it? Because it's really pretty.
Why don't you just wear the sample sock? We used to do that. We don't anymore.
We don't anymore now. But we don't have any shows lined up for all now.
Wearing samples is illegal.
Oh. Well then, I guess I have to pay a fine.
Are you working on anything else?
Nope, that's everything I'm working on. But I do have some FOs, so let's move on to the next segment.
Now we're going to talk about her finished projects, because I still don't have any, but hopefully I will have one next week, even though I won't be able to show it to you.
Yep.
What are your finished projects?
Well, this is the second pair of shorty fingerless mitts that I knit. Again, it incorporates the leftover sock yarn mitts pattern by Jean Stevenson. I did these on US 3s, 3.25 mil needles, and thank you to everybody who contacted me to say that this is not unknown yarn anymore. This is Premier Yarns Deborah Norville Serenity Sockweight Prints in the Chili colorway.
See, this is another yarn called Chili that does not look like it's called Chili.
About to say that.
Yeah, so we had that pink skein.
What? I mean, the green maybe, but what is up with calling things chili that look nothing like chilies?
Yeah, chilies are like
red and green.
Like, not like Christmas red and green, but like pepper color red and green, not pink.
I mean, when I think of peppers, I think of the ristras that we could get in New Mexico.
Oh yeah, some of those are yellow too, aren't they?
Sometimes. And they're like, it's almost a decoration of peppers, but you could take them off and use them.
And you can eat them.
Yes.
Eat them straight off the wreath.
I have no clue why this colorway is called chili. It does not say chili to me.
You've never seen a real chili.
Usually I'm like, oh, okay, I could kind of see that. But with colorways, but on this I'm like, I have no idea. But anyway, they are finished. Each of these pairs takes around 100 yards of yarn. So there you go. And then I finished this week's preemie hat. This is number 5 for the year. This is from my free top-down preemie hat pattern on Ravelry. And I do it on US 6's 4 mil needles. And the yarn is Ginger's hand-dyed BFL rock sock in the birdie on the shoulder colorway. That's this blue. Ginger's hand-dyed Mash and Mayhem 4-ply in the Jamaican Jewels and Voyager colorways. So...
That's that teal one right there, and the little, like, chartreuse color.
Yeah, I can't remember which is which, though, but anyway, that's fine. And Nerd Girl Yarns Bounce and Stomp in the Sorry colorway, so that is like the other, the multicolored.
The one that looks like Hogwarts house colors.
So I, like, held it doubled with other stuff. And there's hat number 5.
Eclectic cat.
Yeah.
For the eclectic babies.
Well, I'm trying to, like, use them. I had all these, like, small balls of stuff. And so I've been trying to use them up. But, like, especially because I end up having tons of, like, leftover sock stuff that is not enough to use in the zigzag blanket. Because I need, like, between, like, around 35 to 40 grams to do a stripe in the zigzag blanket. So I either hold the sock yarn doubled of the same colorway, or I'll hold one strand of it with another strand and do that. Mm-hmm. In fact, like, this is the leftover toes, heels, cuff yarn from the socks I'm about to show you. So it will get tossed in with preemie hat stuff.
Oh, you won't do it with pink?
I don't need to.
Hmm.
Yeah, because I still have 62 grams of that.
Oh, yeah. And then you'll have enough left over to make several hats.
Yes.
That'll be cute.
So, but this color will go with pretty much anything, so I'll be able to use that. So that's hat number 5 for the year. And then my other FO, as we've just been mentioning, is my pink stripy socks for the wind socks.
That's redundant.
I know, it doesn't really say socks at the end. This is from my French Vanilla Cappuccino sock pattern on Ravelry. I did this on US 1.5, 2.5 mil needles, and the yarn is String Theory Colorworks Entanglement Self-Striping in the Oxytocin colorway, and they're perfect for Valentine's Day. I'm very excited.
I should have worn my String Theory socks.
Which one do you have?
I can't remember the colorway, but it's purple and green. Sam gave it to me like she gave one to you. It's on my project page. It doesn't have a picture of the socks, it has a picture of Bruce Banner, but it has the colorway name.
It's because they're like Incredible Hulk socks.
Yes, they're purple and green.
So there's another pair of socks for this year. I don't know how many socks I've knit already this year. Yeah. And that's everything I finished. Mitts, hat, socks. On the needles, blanket, mitts, cowl, and as we're going to talk about in Yummies, new socks will go on the needles on Friday. So, let's move on and talk about some Yummies. And now it's time for our favorite part of the show, Yummies. Sorry, my sister rockers are clanking.
Clank, clink.
Dammy, what are Yummies?
Yummies are our career favorite things. Things we like, things we want to talk to you about.
Yummies. Do you want to start?
Sure. So, I picked a picture last week for GGK Crafty Pad by Fuzzy Kit that had a set of Leia enamel pins and a Leia plushie from Hallmark. And I was like, those are so cute. I would like those. And then, that night, when you went to Silverdale, you went to the Hallmark and got me the set of Leia pins. And they're so cute.
So, hold them closer and tell them which ones are which.
Okay, this one, they're all Leia. This one's from episode 4, 5, 6, 7. And
which one is your favorite?
I don't have a favorite, but I did put this one on my jacket because it's like the most easily recognizable.
Yeah.
I don't know where to put the rest of them though. They don't have my absolute favorite outfit of hers, which is, I think, one from episode 5 when they're on Cloud City and she's like wearing the maroon
Oh, yeah.
one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think that's episode 5.
Cool.
Yeah.
You said there were some other things that we didn't put in the show notes that you just wanted to mention quick.
I was going to mention. You took me to Hallmark to look at the plushies and other stuff they had.
Yes.
But I didn't get one of the plushies because I want to get a different plushie.
Yes.
With my money. I have to save up for it.
Yes.
So, but then, other things. Great Comet is going to Tokyo next January 2019.
Cool.
So I'm excited about that. But there's still no news on a national tour here. But maybe if they do good enough in Tokyo, they can do a national tour because a show that was just on Broadway for like a limited engagement had a tryout in Tokyo.
So do they know who's going to be cast? Is it going to be some of the same people?
We do not know any of the cast right now. Or like what the staging will be like, if it will be a replica or something different.
How long before the show like happens do they usually pick people and everything?
I'm not sure, but like the Hamilton, the second tour did like 8 weeks of rehearsal, but they might have to do a bit more than that if they do lots of immersive staging. So I don't know. I would say later in the year we'll probably find out.
Okay. And if we have anybody that lives in Tokyo,
I want a program.
Yeah, would like a program. And then another show thing you were going to talk about.
Oh yeah, the Hamilton, the second national tour, Angelica tour, is here in Seattle right now. Well, we're not in Seattle. We're across the water from Seattle. Yeah, we've been entering the lottery for every single performance that we can. We haven't won yet, but hopefully we'll win, because I want to see Shobha Narayan as Eliza. She's from... No! Next one opens at half an hour.
Sorry. I don't know if you can read it. Sorry, you did not win. So the one that opens up in 30 minutes is for...
Friday.
Oh my gosh, that would be
Friday.
insanity.
Friday.
That would be complete and total insanity, because we are going to Seattle Pacific University all day Friday for Dammy's Distinguished Scholar Competition, where you could win a full ride to the university.
Yeah, I was wrong. They don't give away 1, they give away 5.
Oh, they do?
Yeah.
Oh.
I have no idea how many people will be there, though.
Yeah.
So.
Well, they said there was not... It had filled up. There was not enough space for anybody else to do it. They do 2 dates of competition, and then I think they also offered a limited amount of people who couldn't come to university to do it like a video interview type thing. So I don't know.
Yeah, it's gonna be a fun day.
It's gonna be awesome. You should put one of your Leias on your blazer.
Will that make me seem professional?
It'll make.
Oh, I can talk about it in my personal interview, which is part of the competition.
It'll make you stand out. They'll be like, "Oh, that girl with the Leia pen."
Yeah, I'll put Buns Leia on it.
Yes, business professional is the dress.
Leia's business professional.
Yes.
She's a general and a princess.
That's right.
And she has the space equivalent of her PhD. And she led a rebellion.
Yes. Well, I think
she's a professional.
I think those are all leadership qualities that you could relate to.
Yes.
See? And be like, oh yeah, that girl that talked about Star Wars and about Princess Leia and her leadership abilities.
Excuse me. General Leia.
General Princess Leia. Princess General Leia.
I think she's just general now. Because Alderaan is gone.
Yeah.
So she has nothing to be princess of anymore.
She's still princess in her heart.
I know. Okay. What else are we talking about?
Okay, so on, I don't know, some day last week.
Saturday?
No.
Oh, was this
Thursday.
Yeah.
Last week, Dammy and I were over in Silverdale, and some of the ladies at the knitting group I go to on Wednesday nights had been telling me I needed to go to Knit Together, which is a yarn shop in Silverdale.
This was the day you were taking me to Hallmark, and we passed by it, driving by.
Yeah, so I was just saying to Dammy, oh, sometime we should go visit it.
And then, like 5 seconds later, oh, look!
And I had no clue. I had no clue where it was in Silverdale, and we drove by it. So it was just meant to be. So I got this notepad, which cracks me up. Knitting is my cardio. This is from knitterella.com. But they had it in the shop. So it's a notepad. And I got a skein of yarn from a new to me dyer, Bigfoot Yarn Company. And look at her tags. They're wooden tags. And they have a rose on them. This is the Flying Pink Elephants colorway. It's a 75-25 Super Rush Merino nylon fingering weight, 100 grams, 463 yards. Flying Pink Elephants. Don't you see that? Flying Pink Elephants. But I love the tag. And I actually followed her on Instagram because I was tagging when I showed the yarn on Instagram, and she followed me back and has been having some conversation with me. And she was so funny because she was like, I thought I recognized that yarn as I was scrolling through. That's because it's your yarn. I can't think what her first name is, but she's local to the Pacific Northwest. I don't know exactly where she's from, but peak flying elephants. And then we went, so...
Talk about the yarn first.
Yeah.
We'll get to the good part.
Well, the yarn is a good part, too. We went to Allen Yarn Shop, which is it was about a half-hour drive from here. It was a pretty drive with all the trees and scenery and such. They were having their anniversary sale, and so you got to pop a balloon, and inside it had a piece of paper that said how much your discount was. So I got a 15% discount.
I found you a pink balloon.
You did find me a pink balloon. So this yarn, Dammy is actually going to wind up for me. Because
when?
Because I'm going to cast it on Friday for the Ravelinics.
Oh, crap.
I guess I could wind up.
I just forgot about it. I can do it.
So this is Misty Alpaca. It's a 50% alpaca, 30% merino wool, 10% silk, 10% nylon blend, and this is the Birds in Paradise colorway.
Wow.
It's made in Peru.
Peru.
100 grams, 437 yards. Isn't it gorgeous?
It's so fluffy.
And the hubs, when I got home with it, he was like, how was that Olympics? Because the Olympics start Friday, so the Ravelinics start. We're part of Team Sasquatch, which is kind of a group for podcasters.
I don't think I'm doing anything
for podcast viewers. You could do the whip.
Oh, but I can't post pictures.
No, but you can like put, it's a secret.
That's too much trouble.
Or take a black and white photo of the sole of the foot.
I'll figure something out.
So
Keep talking about the yarn.
So the hubs was like, how is this Ravelinics? And I was like, well, I'm sure that all these colors are in the flags of the different countries that compete. Right? So I am super excited. Oh, look at their thing. It's Peace, Love, Alpaca. I didn't even notice that. Peace, Love, Alpaca. So this is from Misty Alpaca, Birds in Paradise. And it's so soft. I cannot wait to knit it up. Okay, and so this yarn shop is like in the middle of nowhere pretty much. But there are some homes that are in like the same little, it's almost like a cul-de-sac. And there, as we were driving up, there was a pen, a small field with alpacas in it. And we were like, oh my gosh. So we were like, let's go inside and do whatever we're going to do inside first, and then we'll come back out. So we did that, and we came back outside, and they were gone. And it just happened that the guy that lives right next door to the field walked out, and he was like, are they down there? And we were like, no, they were there when we drove in, but they're not there now. He's like, call for the dog. They'll come running. So he called the dog's name. I don't remember the dog's name. Sari. And the dog and the alpacas came running.
And the goat leader.
Yes, and the Angora goat.
Yeah. The dog was so big and so loving. He was such a good dog.
He was trying to leap over the fence.
Yeah, he kept licking my hand.
So the Angora goat has no name.
Nameless goat.
Smelly
nameless goat.
And then there were 3 alpacas. There was Jasper,
Fancy, and Adam.
But Jasper was the only one that was like friendly. So Jasper,
that would let you touch him.
Let us pet him, and tried to give me kisses and Dammy kisses, and tried to eat Dammy's jacket.
Yeah, he really wanted the jacket.
And we fed them all grass.
Yep.
So we took some photos and video. So we're gonna stop right here and put the photos and video. Oh, it's
a squirrel.
It's a squirrel. I thought it was a bird. We're looking out the window, and there's a squirrel on a tree branch, and I just kept seeing movement out of the corner of my eye, and I thought it was a bird. But
we're gonna show you photos and video
of the alpacas and the goat and the dog. So here they come. So we actually changed our minds and just put the photos in there. The video, stay tuned till after the credits and you can watch the videos that we recorded. So, but yeah, my new profile picture in a lot of places is Jasper trying to kiss me.
Friendly alpaca.
They were so cute. We had a lot of fun petting them and feeding them. And yeah, it was fun. Oh, and Jasper also was interested in the yarn because you were holding the alpaca yarn.
Yes, it's part alpaca.
So he kept trying to
Sniff it.
sniff
It
it.
smells like one of my own.
Yes, one of your own from Peru. So yeah. So, okay, is there anything else we want to throw into Yummies?
I don't think so.
Okay, so let's talk about hashtag GGK Crafty Pad. What is it, Dammy?
It stands for Geeky Girls Knit Crafty Photo a Day Challenge. We have a list of photo prompts for each month. So you take a look at the prompt for that day, take a picture related to it, and post it anywhere you like. But we pick our favorites from Instagram.
And February is one of our 2 favorite months for GGK Crafty Pad. The other one? October. Because that's when our birthdays are, and autumn, and all that stuff. So anyway, February is our alphabet soup month.
February.
February. That's how you spell it.
February.
So it's alphabet soup month. So other than the 14th and the 28th, every day has a letter of the alphabet.
A, B, C, D, E, F, G.
And you interpret it however you want and post photos based on the prompt. So, Dammy, what are we about to show them?
2 photos from us that we liked and 5 photos from other people that we liked.
Here come the photos. So those are our favorite photos. Great job, everybody. So it's never too late to join in. You take a look at the prompts list. So for example, today when we're recording, I think it's G. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Yeah, today is G. You interpret that prompt however you want. Take a photo, post it on Instagram. Make sure that you, in your caption, use hashtag I'm sorry, I'm trying to knit a zigzag, GGK Crafty Pad, and yours might get chosen. And just wanted to say, if you have a private account on Instagram, if we're not following you, we can't see your photos when you post. Mm-hmm. So, Dammy especially sorts through the photos, and then we, pick the ones, but she sorts through them all. So if Dammy is not following you, she cannot see your photos if you're private. So, follow her, send her a PM on Ravelry, on Ravelry or on Instagram or whatever, to make sure that she's following you so we can make sure, we see your photos. You can do me as well, that's fine. Dammy is Dammy's Doodles on Instagram, and I'm CC_Almond, ALMON. Like the nut without the D. And yours might get chosen. So take those photos and get them posted. No upcoming events, so let's move on to the next segment.
To talk about what we are reading, watching, and listening to.
That is correct. So, Dammy, what are you reading?
I am still reading Emma by Jane Austen. I'm in the last 15% of it.
Oh, cool.
So, yeah.
Anything exciting to talk about it?
There's something always exciting going on. Yeah.
Exciting things happening at Emma's.
Mm-hmm.
Anything?
Too exciting.
Anything specific you want to mention?
Nightly.
Are they together now, or is it still...
No, he proposed.
Okay.
Now it's her freaking out. It was I can't get married stuff.
Okay. Gotcha. And you're reading something else as well?
Yes, I'm still reading The Glass Scientists, which is a webcomic by Sabrina Katungo. It's a lot different to read one page a week as opposed to reading a whole chunk of pages at once.
Yeah.
It's like, this is going too slow.
It's because you binge read all the that catalog.
Yeah.
Okay. Excuse me, coffee. So have you been getting your 15 minutes a day of reading in?
Yeah.
And it is so exciting.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry.
So what I'm talking about with the 15 minutes of reading is our January, February, March read-along, RAL.
Wow.
So your challenge is to read 15 minutes a day every day. Or more. And there is a quote-unquote FO thread in the Ravelry group where you post once and then just go in and edit to put all in your times in. And you don't necessarily have to update it every day like some people are, like at the end of each month are going in and putting the whole month's worth, or doing like a week at a time or whatever. However you want to do it is fine. As long as you have it all in by March 31st, because we will lock that thread the morning of April the 1st. Easter Sunday.
Easter.
And then draw winners after that. There's also a chatter thread, which has been pretty active, of people talking about what they're reading and the like. So that's a lot of fun. So if you read at least 87 of the 90 days, you'll be entered into a giveaway for any one of our ebooks. We may do more than one ebook giveaway depending on how many people finish. There's also 2 giveaways sponsored by Iggy Star. There's a skein of Firefly inspired yarn and my Firefly pattern, and a skein of Doctor Who inspired yarn and any one of my single Doctor Who inspired patterns. And everyone that does at least 87 days gets a 20% off a single pattern coupon code for our store. If you do 60 of the 90 days, we'll be doing at least one giveaway, probably more, for one of our single patterns. And the hashtag GGKRAL18, RAL.
Wow.
Geeky Girls Knit Read Along 2018. Okay, so let me talk about what I'm reading. I'm still reading Rising Strong by Brene Brown.
You never went to put her books down.
She is so freaking amazing. I learned about, and I was sharing it with Dammy, what it sometimes is called box breathing, but also apparently it's something used by the military called, I think it's called tactical breathing, and it's inhaling 4 breaths, holding for 4 count, inhaling for 4 seconds through your nose, holding for 4 seconds, exhaling for 4 seconds through your mouth, holding for 4 seconds. So
make a box. 1,
yeah.
2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. You didn't have to give a demonstration. But you wanted to.
There you go. I've been doing it some since I've read about it. And it's pretty cool.
Oh my gosh, you keep yawning.
You need more coffee, apparently.
Yeah.
So, anyway, I really love her stuff. I think she has a new one out that I haven't read either. So, I'm also reading Being the Starfish by Neil Anderson, which is, I think he was opening the door. The hubs is getting ready in the other part of the house. Being the Starfish by Neil Anderson, which is a book for doTERRA wellness advocates that was gifted to me by my mentor Tara. Fiction-wise, I read Witch Myth, A You Hollow Christmas by Alexandria Clark. I read books 1 and 2 because I'd already read the prequel last week. I read the Extinction Files series by A.G. Riddle. So it's a 2-book series, but each book is like 50,000 pages. Not really, but a lot of pages. Like the average amount of time for, at least for the second book, was like 8.5 hours to read it. They were massive. So, and these, fiction-wise, these are probably some of my favorite fiction books that I've read in quite a while. So it's very much about, it's like a thriller type thing, but it's about science, it's about history, it's about epidemics of illnesses.
So it's like X-Files.
Kind of, but
The Extinction Files.
yeah. So, and there's some romance, a little bit of romance, but that's not like the primary thing. But it is, yeah, it was so interesting. And the other night when I couldn't sleep, I read for like 2 hours of it. And it was so interesting. And they are available on Kindle Unlimited. So, if you're looking for something very thriller, science, history type thing, yes, you might enjoy those. And then I started The Girl Who Dared to Lead, which is the 5th book in the Girl Who Dared series by Bella Forrest. And I just started, I think I'm on chapter 2. So that's what I'm reading. That one is also a Kindle Unlimited book, as was the Witch Myth books. Okay, watching. I watched one Hallmark movie this week called My Secret Valentine. It was, we talked about this at dinner the other night. It was You've Got Mail.
Yeah.
Esque, which was also The Shop Around the Corner was the original movie that, but it was based on a play set in Hungary. So, I mean, it's like all these things have done, but anyway, that's essentially what it was, kind of a You Got Mail of pen pals, although they were leaving messages like on a dry erase board for each other, and they, in real life, they didn't like each other, but then they were falling in love, and that's that. Yeah. I'm watching season 3 of Charmed. I have 1 episode left in season 3, and I think this is the episode where Prue dies.
Oh.
I mean, I knew going in watching it that Prue died at some point, and I think this might be it.
Oh, okay. Why does she die?
I think she wanted to leave the show.
Oh.
So, I'm not 100% sure. So, the hubs and I are watching season 4 of The Flash. Big Sur is innocent. And Cisco and Ralph got shrunk, so it was like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. Cecile can hear everyone's thoughts. It's a side effect of her pregnancy and the dark matter stuff, and so she can hear what everybody's thinking. And it causes all kinds of mayhem and problems. And the warden figured out that Barry is the Flash and plans to sell him to Amunet Black, which is Katie Sackhoff's character from Battlestar Galactica. Why don't you talk for a little while?
Okay, we're watching season 13 of Criminal Minds. Emily has been suspended and Barnes is trying to get rid of some of the members of the BAU. Oh no.
And Barnes is played by Kim
Rhodes,
who is in Supernatural and is in the spin-off Wayward Sisters that it's going to happen.
Please, Sweet Life of Zach and Cody.
I know. But anyway, so I feel like this storyline is going to tie up because she's going to need to be available to film full-time on Wayward Sisters.
We're watching season 5 of The Blacklist. It was about an arsonist. Red told Lizzie that he has a secret, but he won't tell her what it is, but she's insistent on finding it out since it played a part in Tom's death. Oh no. Watching season 4 of The Librarians.
Which we thought was the season finale, but it wasn't.
Yeah. All 3 of the librarians are resigned. Jenkins is dead. The library has vanished. Eve doesn't remember the library. It was all a plan by Nicole, and now she's like in some sort of alternate timeline where the library has never existed.
Yeah. So, yeah. I thought it was the season finale, but we have 1 more episode.
It's not supposed to be this dramatic. It's supposed to be cheesy.
I know.
It's supposed to be the feel-good show.
Yeah, it was extreme.
Sad things aren't supposed to happen.
Yeah, I was like crying when Jenkins died. I was like, oh my
Better
gosh.
bring him back.
Maybe he's not dead in the real timeline. Maybe he's only dead in the alternate timeline.
Good. Yeah, we need our lovable Jenkins.
I love him.
Lovable Jenkins.
Okay, do you want me to talk for a little bit?
Wait, I'll talk about X-Files, and then you can do the rest, except for Blind Spot, because they're all your shows.
Yes.
X-Files are watching season 11. They found William, and he can project images into others' minds to convince them they are seeing something different, and he's being chased by other parts of the government because he has alien DNA in him. Oh no. How many more episodes are left in this season? It's not a full
Well, let me look.
season, I'm pretty sure.
The Hamilton lottery opens in 5 minutes.
I know. I want to see Shobin Ryan as Eliza.
I hope we get tickets at some point. That would be really
but
amazing.
they're all sold out.
Episode guide, season 11. There's 10. Oh, this episode for today is called Kitten.
Oh, okay. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4,
5 more episodes.
Okay. Gillian Anderson isn't doing any more after this season, so I'm hoping they stop right there.
Yeah. They better not kill her off. That would be awful.
X-Files doesn't work without Scully.
No, it doesn't.
Come on, Chris Carter. Chris Carter thinks it can work without Scully, but he's wrong.
No, it cannot work without Scully. I think they've kind of gotten...
Yeah, I think it was a lot more interesting in the 90s because that's when like a lot of interest in parapsychology and stuff was about.
Yeah.
And it was a lot like creepier and more interesting in the 90s, but now they're like they have product placements and action.
Yeah,
scenes.
I thought that that episode was going to be a Monster of the Week one, which it was a little bit.
Oh no.
Oh no, what?
I didn't need to get through one of these wraps. I need to take it back. It's okay.
It's because you were talking about X-Files.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, yeah, I don't know, maybe Kitten will be a Monster of the Week episode. Maybe it's like a tiger named Kitten, or a lion named Kitten.
A rabid kitten.
Oh dear, that's kind of scary. Now I'm like freaking out. What is it going to be? Okay, the Hubs and I are watching season 11 of The Big Bang Theory, so it was Professor Proton, because Will Wheaton got the role as Professor Proton, and Sheldon was extremely jealous and wants to be on the show now because he really wanted to be Professor Proton.
How long can they beat the dead horse of Big Bang Theory?
I think it's like signed up for at least 2 more seasons.
End it!
And there was also Leonard writing a novel, and then so they like did kind of these like flashes of like what it would be live action wise in the novel, and he was like this suave like James Bond type character, and
there are too many James Bond characters. Don't make any more.
It was funny. Okay, I'm watching series 7 of Death in Paradise. There was blackmail and a voice recording used to change the time of death to try to give people alibis. Yeah, I know. Supernatural, season 13. Rowena's not dead. We thought she was dead.
No one is actually dead in the show, I don't think.
But she found out that her son Crowley died, and she was not happy. Cass and Lucifer escaped, but Cass stabbed Lucifer, which means what? So is Lucifer dead now?
No one is dead in this show.
I don't know. I do not know. Season 6 of Arrow, Laurel killed Dinah's former partner / boyfriend, and he was undercover with the bad guys, and the bad Laurel killed him.
Oh no.
Yeah, I know. Do you want to do Blind Spot and Shield?
Yes, just a second. I'm picking up this stitch. This is one of the ones I didn't wrap. We are watching season 3 of Blind Spot. See what you wrote. Roman has been given the task to kill the FBI team. Oh no.
From Crawford? Yeah. Is that his name?
And then Anthony Limke's character died. Limk. It's probably Limp. Limk from Dark Matter. We never watched the last season of Dark Matter because it got canceled. We didn't watch the last season because that was last summer.
It's when we were moving.
Yeah.
Oh, well, maybe we'll watch that after the spring finales.
Yeah. Well, there's going to be a break with Olympics.
Yeah. Yeah, because when Daddy and I were watching, when you and I were watching Blind Spot last night, at the end, the actors would be like, we'll be back after the Olympics are over. Go Team USA.
Go Team USA.
Do you want to talk about S.H.I.E.L.D. too, or you want me to?
Oh, I forgot about S.H.I.E.L.D. We're watching Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. season 5. So is the whole, they were making the monolith and thing, but then did they make it back or not? I'm kind of over this plotline.
I know. And if they did make it back, why hasn't it affected the future?
Time loop, apparently.
So are they in an alternate timeline? Are they going to go back to the real timeline?
I have no no idea. Don't ask me. I don't think this is based on any pre-existing comic.
Craziness. And then the hubs and I are watching season 11 of Murdoch Mysteries. There was an elusive white moose.
I know. A what?
An elusive white moose. And the president of the USA came up to try to kill it.
Who is the president?
Roosevelt.
No!
He wanted to... He didn't want just a photograph of it. He wanted to kill it and preserve it. This albino moose.
That's not how you
But then
wildlife.
Then there was the whole... somebody was after him trying to kill him, and
of course
a previous bad guy came back, and
then did it's Teddy Roosevelt, right? Not Frank. No,
I don't know.
FDR. I think Roosevelt was later. There are two Roosevelts.
Yeah. Anyway, also Murdoch and Julia were talking baby names.
Is she pregnant?
Yes, I told you this a few weeks ago.
Oh, okay.
Remember she was doing the studies on fertility stuff because she had infertility issues?
No, I did not remember.
Yes, it happened. She is pregnant, and Murdoch wanted to name, if it's a boy, name him after him, and she didn't like that, and then he suggested naming, if it's a boy, naming it after her as Julian.
Oh,
and she didn't.
Cute.
She didn't like that either. Oh. But I think they came up with, for a boy, like Daniel or something. I can't remember.
Lion's Den.
That's right. Oh, I was about to say, and we're done, but no, we've been listening to stuff. I've been listening to Christy Knockl's Beheld, Lullabies for the Beloved. Also, when we get into Luke II, our car that's outside, and we plug in the thing, it starts randomly playing the music off my phone.
It plays Norah Jones first, because the first song on there that begins with A is Above Ground by Norah Jones.
That's right. And then we hit shuffle, and then it plays. But, so there's been Norah Jones, there's been J.J. Heller, there has been Christy Nockels and Watermark, there has been Krista Wells, and Landon, what's his last name that sang Falling in Love at the Coffee Shop?
I think it's Pig or Peg? I can't remember.
Anyway, only one song by him, but I love this song, Falling in Love at the Coffee Shop.
At a coffee shop.
At a coffee shop.
Thank you.
And there might be others mixed in there, but that's not a Spotify playlist or anything. It's just what is randomly on my phone. There's like 180 songs on my phone, and it randomly plays them. So that's what else I've been listening to besides podcasts. Oh, I was going to say, remind me to put it in the show notes. There is a podcast called Women's Work. It's a new podcast by Tish Oxenreider, who does The Simple Show. And I've talked about her books and such before. She and her family traveled around the world with the 3 kids. And anyway, but she's doing a new podcast called Women's Work, where she's... Damn, he's kicking the tripod. Stop it. Where she's talking to inspiring women. So, like, there was an episode that we listened to about a woman who owns an indie bookshop. There was one about the lady who started the Noonday Collection. There's another one, the lady is half of the Pantsuit Politics podcast, but she was elected to a position in her town, and so they were talking about women in politics and such. So it's really pretty interesting. So if that is something that it's not knitting related at all. So, but if you're interested in that, it's called Women's Work. Just search for it on your podcast device and podcast app, and you should be able to find it. I wanted to tell you about that new one. Okay, what have you been listening to?
My audition songs from 3 separate albums. Anastasia, Anastasia original Broadway cast recording, Jekyll and Hyde original Broadway cast recording, and Newsies original Broadway cast recording.
You mean Obker?
Yes, Obker. Sure.
Obker.
And I've also been listening to the Phantom of the Opera 25th anniversary at the Royal Albert Hall album.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Wishing I could sing Wishing You Were Somehow Here Again. I can sing parts of it, but other parts of it too high.
Too high. You can sing it an octave down.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't find it in the original key, so I can't figure out which key is correct for my voice.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. And have you been listening still to the last thing?
Oh, yes, Cabin Pressure. It's a little pick-me-up that makes you feel good. I just put it on shuffle.
I was going to say, do you just randomly listen to one, or are you going through the alphabet again?
No, I listen to like half of it when I'm steaming. And so I hit shuffle and I'm like, okay. And so one night I listened to half of it, and the next night I listened to the next half.
So which ones do you remember any?
I played St. Petersburg.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. I think that is everything we are reading, watching, and listening to.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully we've given you some ideas. Let's move on to the next segment.
Now we're going to talk about our December, January, February Winter Wonderland owl.
Walking in a winter wonderland.
It doesn't feel like Winter Wonderland anymore.
You didn't do your part.
Do.
I know the sun's been out some days, but now it's really gloomy today.
Yes, I'm ready for spring so that the sun will set at normal time.
Okay, so this along runs from December the 1st. I'm trying to do a knit front and back, and it doesn't want to do it. It runs from December 1st through the 28th of February. There's 3 main rules. It's Ravelry crafts only. It's for any project you knit, crochet, weave, or spin. You can convince this is related to winter. Fallback is
you made it in the winter.
Yep. Second main rule is no whips are allowed. You have to start your project December 1st or later and finish it by the 28th of February. And the third rule, which will be different in the spring along, but for now, this rule is if you knit, crochet, weave, spin something that takes less than 10 grams of yarn, you need to group it with other things to make a total of at least 10 grams of yarn. So if you knit a washcloth that only used 8 grams, you need to put 2 of those together in the same FO post. And then that FO post will count for 1 entry into the giveaways. Other than that, it's every post counts as 1 entry. Feel free to poly dip in other owls as long as it meets the rules. This is the first podcast of the month, so we're going to talk about the prizes in detail. You want to start or you want me to?
I will start. There's a Geeky Girls Knit 5th Potterversary Progress Keeper from Ann Tudor.
There's a TARDIS pouch with Shakespeare stitch markers from the Stitching Plaza.
A Ginger Twist Studio Needle Gauge Nessie stitch marker. And 15 grams of Hilltop Cloud silk hankies.
There is the book Unobtainables, Fake Elements, Real Knits by Alison Sarnoff and Heatherly Walker.
And then...
You can't see because the things are on the wall, on the screen, never mind.
And then 2 greeting cards from Tilly Flop Designs.
The hubs was like right in that doorway right there while we were talking.
Sneaking.
So a big thank you to all of our sponsors who have donated prizes. We really appreciate you. You have to be a member of the Geeky Girls Knit Ravelry podcast group on Ravelry to participate. I already told you about the entries in the FO thread. The hashtag is hashtag GGKWinter1718. We will lock the FO thread the morning of the 1st of March and draw winners on the next podcast following that. If you are a winner, you'll have 30 days to claim your prize or you forfeit it. There is a chatter thread in the Ravelry group where Dammy gives shout-outs and y'all can talk about what you're working on. But she also gives shout-outs here on the podcast. So Dammy, do some shouting out.
Okay. Alchemy, Al Jones, 1954, Allison Roseboom, Banner Girl 229, Carrie Ann 77, D-Door 4, Deb Knits 2, Falling Star 12, Frymeister, Firefly 12, Jamie BB 1979, Jalorima, Jennifer Reels, K2P2 Mama, Karen Louise 59, Carleen Page, K Bowman 123, Knit and Read, Knit Central, Knit Live Love, Knitter Chow, Lil Angel SG2, Moe's Crochet, Penny Gale, Pucaz Lagrada, Quill Pin, Silver Luna 2112, SLC3, Tammy plus Hazel, The Cat Knit, The Zincha, Travel Socks, Twisting Pearls, VT Kimmy Kim, Whistlin' Liz, Wood Angel 8, Wisconsin Knitter, Yarnsmith Dory, and Yarn Wall and Knits.
Great job, everybody.
Yeah.
So keep working on those projects. You have 3 weeks to finish your projects. Yeah. And then we will spring ahead to the new spring owl. I'm so punny. Oops, I just dropped a stitch. Curses. Oh, but thankfully it's garter stitch, so it's easy to fix. All right, let's move on to the next segment.
And now it's time for Ask the Geeky Girls, the part of our show where you ask us things, and we try to answer them.
Yes. What is this week's question, Tammy?
This week's question is from Kim, who was Psycho-Hulakian from Texas. Cece.
Yes.
I've been watching your podcast since June or July of 2017. Not long, but loving them.
I'm so glad.
That is long right now.
I mean, like when she posted it might have been, because I think the post was about a month or two old.
Yeah. Anyway, I've watched past episodes and you talk about your zigzag blanket. I was wondering what needles you are using. You've probably already mentioned this and I just didn't notice. I was wondering because I keep noticing straight needles with little pandas on them. Thanks for the great work every week.
Yes. That is because...
This is the only thing she uses straights on.
Yes. So let me show you what these are. Well, hold on, here's the package. So these are the Haya single point adapter set. So here's the set. And what it is you take the tips from the, that you use for the interchangeable needles. And it connects, so for this one, I think it only is a one-piece connection. And then here at the top, if I can get it off.
Yeah, your panda's been on there for so long.
Yep. It is...
It's a needle stopper, basically.
Yeah. Come on. It is a little panda.
With a screw on the bottom.
With a screw on the bottom that you put in the end.
Don't you have ones with pink socks?
I do, but I think those are point protectors. They're not screw in.
Oh.
So you put the panda in the top, and then I've got the adapter that I need and the needle tip, and it makes a straight needle. And then there's other adapters in here too, so you can make them longer if you wanted to. But, so for this pattern, you're only working with 10 stitches at a time. And so I've tried multiple things for this blanket before I found this that worked. So I tried double points, which I kept jabbing myself in the hand with. I tried circulars, but the cord was way too long. I tried another set of straights, a short set of straights that I found on Etsy, but they were not, the point was not sharp enough. It was they were plastic. I needed a sharper point. And then I finally ran across these, well, because I looked at Signature has some that are like small like these, but Signature needles are way out of my budget. So then I saw these and I was like, oh, that might be the solution. So I bought it on Etsy, Amazon, somewhere.
You got it from Jess.
No, I got the straight parts online. I bought the needle tips from Jess. Because
and I think you bought the pandas from Jess too.
No, the pandas came with the set. I believe.
You've gotten some pandas from Jess.
I have gotten some pandas from Jess. So these are US 4s 3.5 mil tips, and I just bought an extra set of them and just leave them on here all the time. And that's what I use because they are just the perfect size for just these 10 stitches.
And that's the only thing you use straights for.
It is. Everything else I use a circular needle on. I don't even own any double points anymore.
Show us what you do with the extra needle when you're not using it. Stab it into the blanket.
I stab it into the blanket.
Like a hat pin.
That's only when I'm like working on it and I need to stop for something. They actually live in when I'm not knitting.
But that's boring.
They live in
that Slip Stitch Studios needle holder that I gave you.
It came from, no, this one was mine. It came from one of the Doctor Who Companion sock clip kits that I did with Julia of Pandius Jewels. So the needles are like just snapped inside.
I gave that one to you. I'm still giving a different one to you.
And it's also got a zipper pocket. Oh, hey, look. It is a sheepish sock in the Royal Botanics colorway.
Oh, I was right.
Yep. That's what I usually keep it in there. It's just like the label of it. But yeah, that way the all 10 stitches stay on, and that is how I do it. So, yeah. So if you have a project where you need some just short straights, or if you'd like to knit with straight needles, but you don't want to have like a ton of all these straights, you could buy some of these sets to make them the single point adapters, and then just have tips that you can interchange.
With pandas on the bottom.
With pandas. Because
that panda is a blue sock.
This is the Haya panda.
The ears are rubbing off.
I know. It's okay.
Oh.
And look, he's got a little tail on his tush. Oh, and it says Haya. I don't know if you can read that. So yeah, so this is what I use for the 10 stitch blanket after many trial and error trials and fails that didn't work for me. This does. Now that I've knit like, I don't know, 5,700 yards into this blanket or something. That doesn't include the stripe I'm working on right now. 2019 is the estimated finish date.
That's just next year.
I think. Or was it 2020?
Oh, it might have been. It might have changed 2020 since you took a break from it.
Yeah. But I have been doing, when I started back on it, I've been doing one zigzag a day every day, except for on the days where I do the final zigzag and a stripe. I also do the zigzag, the first zigzag and the next stripe. Yeah. So it takes me 19 days to do a stripe.
Okay.
So, all right. I think that answers the question. Kim, thanks for the question. We really appreciate it. So, Dammy, if somebody has a question for us, what should they do?
Go to our Ask the Geeky Girls thread in our Ravelry group and post it.
And we'll get around to answering it. All right. Let's move on to the next segment. We made it to the end of the show!
And I finished the heel.
Yay! And I have, hold on, I'm trying to turn it here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have one more garter ridge and I'm binding off this zigzag.
Yeah! Productive day!
Productive! Stabbing the needle into the blanket. Okay, a reminder. The giveaway for the ebook copy of I Knit New York, which is edited by Kathleen Davis and Alice O'Reilly, is going on in the Ravelry group. To enter, you need to visit the I Knit New York Ravelry page, find your favorite pattern, and then go to the thread in our group to tell us your favorite pattern. And we will close that giveaway next week when we record episode 281. And if you're the winner, you'll have 30 days to claim your prize, which is a great prize, so you should totally do it.
Yeah, I'm excited for the I Knit Paris one. That said it was going to come out sometime next year, I think.
I think so. So
can we review that one too?
Oh, I'm sure. Kathleen is a friend of mine.
I'd rather be a one inspired by Notre Dame, but of course there will be because that's like an iconic part of Paris.
They should do an I Knit Seattle.
What do you mean in Seattle?
Stuff at coffee shops.
There's Pike Place and Space Needle.
So
I don't know what else.
Okay, so I don't even know if I told you this. So, I had a doctor's appointment in Seattle, just north of Seattle, on Monday. And the hubs and I were driving, and we saw the Space Needle, and I was like, it seems much smaller in person. Also, there were ads up around the thing, which I had never seen before.
They don't show that in Frasier.
And then, I don't know if I showed you this. I can't think of what his...
John Mahoney.
Yeah, who played Frasier's dad, passed away. He was like an icon in the Chicago theater. Mm-hmm. And he didn't start acting, I was reading an article about him, until he was like in his 40s. So very sad. So,
yeah, he was a Tony winner, so he was on all the Broadway news.
Yeah. Yeah, so the hubs and I were talking about Frasier and everything because of the Space Needle and it being in their logo. And then, like, I think that night or the next day I read that John Mahoney had passed. So that's really sad.
Anyway, the giveaway is still open.
And we need an I Knit Seattle. Okay. 2 things about essential oils. 1, I am doing an Essential Oils 101 workshop on this Friday at 2 p.m. Pacific.
While I'm at college.
Yes, I will have some time away, so I'm going to do that. It will be on Instagram Live and YouTube and the oilswithcc.com website. I probably will not stream it on Facebook because that would require bringing in another tripod.
Yeah, but you can, like, put the link to the YouTube.
I will.
Like, post that on your Facebook.
So I'm going to be doing that. So if you want to know more about essential oils and how to use them and what they can be used for, I'll be doing a basics class this Friday. And it will be recorded, so if you can't come at that time, you'll be able to watch it later. If you sign up for the newsletter at oilswithcc.com, you'll get information about that. Secondly, my friend Tara, who is my mentor, Tara Swiger, in the creative business, but also with doTERRA, is coming to visit at the end of February. So if you are in or around the Seattle area and would like us to come do a natural solutions for knitters and crocheters at your yarn shop or knitting group, or if you would just like to host a a workshop for you and your friends, or you want to come to a workshop, send me an email, grande@javapearldesigns.com, because we'll be doing several fun events while she's here. And so you'd be welcome to join us. I don't think there's any other announcements. So let's talk about our normal stuff. Thank you to everybody who supports the podcast, however you do it. If you would like to support the podcast financially, there are 3 ways you can do that. First is Patreon, which is a site where you can pledge a certain amount to your favorite creatives, podcasters, artists, singers, musicians. And it's kind of like the PBS thing where you pledge and support and you get a gift back. I just did Patreon rewards yesterday. So if you are expecting a reward, watch out for that. If you would like to know more or you would like to sign up, you can go to
patreon.com/geekygirlsnet.
I'm going to get a drink of water while you talk about the next way.
There is a PayPal button in the sidebar of our website if you would like to make a one-time donation.
That's right. And we are amazon.com.co.uk and .ca affiliates. If you're going to shop on Amazon, if you click through our website first, we get a little money back based on what you purchase. It doesn't cost you anything extra, and it's a great way to support the podcast by doing something you'd be doing anyway. And Debbie, why don't you tell them where they can find us online?
You can find us at geekygirlsnet.com. There are links to everywhere else we are online. YouTube, iTunes, Ravelry, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, etc.
And with that, we're going to tell you goodbye. Stay tuned after the credits for the alpaca videos. And we will talk to you next week, and have a great rest of your week. Bye.
Bye.
Tammy, what are we doing?
Looking at alpacas. Oh, they're leaving. Quick.
Jasper!
Hello, goat.
Adam! Come back! And there's a puppy too.
And Fancy. I think that one's
Fancy! And the goat.
And the goat. The name is goat. Hello. Nah. Yeah. Nah. Nah. Don't bite me. Don't try to bite me.
No, he's just trying to sniff you.
What do I smell like? You can't eat my jacket. You can't eat my jacket.
Hello.
Get the puppy too. Puppy's feeling lonely.
Hello.
Hello. Oh! You cannot eat my jacket. Stop that.
I want to eat the yarn.